Okay, third time is the charm. So good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. I hope everybody's having a great day. I got a great video planned out for you guys. We're going to talk a little bit about gold and silver today. Before we get started, though, I'd like to ask if you enjoy the video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me, and leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on gold or silver. Which one do you think will have bigger gains in the long run? And if you guys enjoy the video, please, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Before we get going, though, congratulations to last night's member. We did do a live stream for those of you that didn't know. I did announce it in yesterday's video. We would be going live last night, and we ended up going live and gave away this beautiful Mexican 1 ounce First Strike MS69 Silver Libertad. Beautiful coin, and it so turns out a fairly new member hit it. He has only been in 2 events, signed up July 29th, and became a member, and pretty awesome. He ended up hitting it right off on the second event. He ended up winning one of these awesome prizes. So congratulations, Silver Boy Blues. So I'm sure he's psyched. Shoot me an email, leave me a comment on the video, and I look forward to hearing from you. If I don't hear from you right off, you're still going to get it. I'll just email you, and that will be it. So, but I will. You're going to get this. So, beautiful coin. Man, that's a nice coin. Debating what I'm going to do for the next members event next month. If I'm going to, how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to skip a month and then do a big coin, or if I'm going to do something big next month and set a goal. And if we hit the goal, then go from there. Why do I have the gold coin out? So this was the only gold coin that I had access to right now. So I ended up pulling this, and I said, you know what? I said, we're going to talk a little bit about this. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this is I watched, and I got to be careful what I say, because I don't want a channel out there to think that I am calling out another YouTuber, especially a YouTuber that's bigger than me, a lot bigger than me, and a YouTuber that I like, and a YouTuber that I watch. So I think it's important, though. So I recently watched a video, and it had a couple people talking, and gold to silver. And why their argument was why gold is the best investment. And I kind of felt a little, I don't know, I felt it was a little biased. I felt it was a little biased because you got 2 pro-gold people debating. And I was like, why couldn't they have put someone up there that was pro-silver and discuss it? And here's my thoughts on this. I've always said time and time again, I think silver is a better investment. I think silver has a lot more room to grow. Do I think that gold is going to go higher? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, there's a few things that I had heard in the video that I was like, I disagree with that. You know, the saying in first that I had heard one thing that, you know, gold to silver biblically has always been one number, you know, and to a certain point, yeah, that's true. But that alone does not make it to where silver is a better investment than gold, in my opinion. Do I have some gold? Yeah, I have some gold. I think having a good balanced portfolio is important, and I've always said that. I was about ready to say something, but I got to bite my tongue a little bit, except on certain types of assets. But when it comes to gold and silver, those are 2 good assets, I believe. You know, and when I hear that, it kind of shocks me a little bit. It's not just because it's biblical. I mean, let's look at how it comes out of the ground. It comes out of the ground, what, anywhere from 12 to 15 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. But even that is not my big selling case on why I think silver is better than gold. You could say that silver is heavily used and abused and wasted and thrown away, whereas gold has been getting stacked and saved forever. I mean, think about it. You have major events around the world, and when one country swallows another country, what usually happens to the gold? They just take it, they melt it down, and all of a sudden they stamp new bars. And that keeps going on. You don't see it get wasted. But even that alone is not my biggest point on why I think silver is going to really run up on gold like we've never seen. What my biggest argument is, my number one argument for silver is right now you have banks that are buying up gold. First of all, let's not say, I'll say gold has done great this year, but you know what? Silver, it's not like silver hasn't done nothing. Silver's done great this year. Are we in the middle of a little bit of pullback? Yeah, we said we were going to see a pullback this week. We knew this. I mean, I won't say 100%, but I expected a pretty good pullback. And I've done a lot of videos where I've mentioned it in the videos that we would see a pullback. Why? Because it's the end of the 9th month. It's the end of the 3rd financial quarter. And when that comes to an end, a lot of these contracts have to settle. It's like clockwork. You always see a pullback at the end of a financial quarter. And so we're seeing the pullback right now. But here's the thing. You're not going to see a big pullback on gold. Why? Because big banks are still buying it. They can't manipulate something that's that much money. Silver doesn't take much to manipulate. There's not that much of it out there, in my opinion. And, you know, is it out there? I guess I should be careful how I say not that much out there. Because, I mean, stackers are holding a lot of silver. I personally know a bunch of people that are holding a lot of silver. Gold, they're not holding as much. The big banks are holding a lot of gold. But the biggest reason why I think silver is going to have a huge run up, when inflation starts up again, and it will start up again, and all of a sudden people start getting scared. How many people can afford $2,500 for gold? I mean, yeah, I guess they can buy a small coin, a 1/10. I've been seeing a lot of 1/20th ounce now popping up on the radar with astronomical premiums. But anybody that's a little knowledgeable about precious metals knows you don't want to pay high premiums. If you're buying gold or silver to protect your wealth, then you want low premium stuff. If you're buying it because you're a collector, well, then I understand. You got to buy what you got to buy to build the set. I mean, I'm debating, you know, if this set right here will ever get finished, the Mercury Dime set. Why? Because I'm not willing to buy a 1916 Mercury Dime and pay some astronomical amount of money for a dime when every other dime in the book I've relatively picked up super cheap at pretty close to spot, $2.25, $2.50 maybe. You know, I'm not going to pay some high price. And a lot of people out there are not going to have the money to buy a low premium 1 ounce of gold. But what they will have money to buy will be silver. Even if silver is $30, $40, $50, $70, $100, it's not going to matter. I mean, how far can this ratio get skewed? I mean, you know, when you really think about it, it's more likely it comes down, in my opinion. It is way overshot what it should be. Now, has it been higher? Yeah, I remember when it was 124, I think. 124, 125 ounces per one. You get, I mean, think about that. 125 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold. That is the craziest thing ever, in my opinion. And I remember 2011 when it plunged, the ratio. Now, here's the thing. I'm not in silver for the long haul. I'm sorry. When I see silver go up, and I see gold go up, but most importantly, I see the gold-silver ratio come down. 60-1, 50-1, 40-1. At that point, at 40-1, that's the magic number for me. 40-1, I will trade a good portion of my silver for gold. Now, question comes up, and I heard it in that video briefly, that you think coin stores are going to give you their gold for your silver? No. Here's the thing. I think at that point, coin stores would be more than willing to give you their gold if they have any. And they will have some. Why? Because when that happens, you're going to see the price of silver skyrocketing. And when it skyrockets, people are going to feel like they bought the wrong thing. How many people do I talk to now that feel like, man, I never should have been buying silver. I bought the wrong thing. I should have bought gold. They're looking for trades. I talked to one person. He traded, I want to say, 400 ounces of silver for 5 ounces of gold, I think it was. I could be a little wrong. It was about 80 something to 1. You know, he felt like he made the wrong choice buying gold. And so he traded it. And he said, down the road, I'll pick silver up, but I want to get the gold. Gold's going up pretty fast right now. Yeah, gold always precedes everything. Gold goes up and then silver goes up later. And if you're like if you're jumping ship, I guess you could say, if you're buying one, I actually knew one guy that it seemed like he traded gold for silver 5 or 6 times since I've known him. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that if you're making a little bit more out of it. But here's the thing. It's gradually changing. And it's hard to make the right trades. But when everybody sees that silver is going up, they are going to be flocking in. And a coin shop is going to have an easier time to sell 40 ounces of silver than 1 ounce of gold. Why? Because of the price. Now, here's what I do see. And this is something, because I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke at you guys. I've been, telling you guys my honest opinion. I'm pulling out a book right now, just so if I can find it. I think it was a little bit biased, though, too. And here's the thing. There's a lot of biased opinions out there. Why? Whether it's because of what you sell, whether it's because of commissions, whether it's whatever. I'm looking, got it right here. Hold on, no I don't. I'm looking for a chart, and I had it here the other day, so I know it's right here, that explains the profits on gold and silver. And obviously the company that made this, they do heavily sell. Darn it, it wasn't in this one. Unbelievable. Common gold, rare golds, common date. Darn it. I thought I had it here, but I don't. Pause real quick. Okay, I found it. And some people might think that what I'm about ready to show you maybe works against me, my argument. But listen to what I'm about ready to say here. Because I don't think silver is going to skyrocket and stay up there forever. Gold bullion, rare gold coins, did 7,070%. But here's the thing. I don't know what coins those are. I was unable to find the list that they used to put that against. Regular gold bullion. That's pretty obvious. $35 per ounce. I can verify that. 1982. On that date, I can verify that. 5,565%. Silver. Can verify that. Can verify that, and I can come up with that. 1,111%. Okay, so that looks great. But here's what this chart doesn't show you. If someone had started buying here and held it, and held it, and held it, but at 2011 they decided to flip into gold, think of where they would be then. They would be astronomically higher. Why? Because gold didn't fall as hard as silver when silver collapsed. And that's an important thing I can't stress enough. Because I'm not going to hold. I'm going to end up trading. But the average person out there is not thinking like me, or you even. They're going to want to just hurry up and jump in. Look what was going on in 2011 when silver hit its all-time high, really. People were buying. They didn't care. I talk to people once in a while that say they bought during 2011 and they regret ever buying silver. And if they can ever break even, they're going to break even the first opportunity they get. I think they're going to miss out because I think it will go to 50, have some resistance, have a pullback, and then all of a sudden really just skyrocket in price. And I think that when people realize that, they're going to all want to get into silver. And the majority can get into silver cheap. Even then, they'll be able to get into cheap. Look what happened to Dogecoin. Dogecoin, people had an opportunity to get in, and they laughed at those of us on the channel because I talked a lot about Dogecoin that got into it, and people laughed at me for putting, I think, 20K into it, maybe even a little more. I showed you guys my portfolio. They thought it was a joke. They thought I was foolish. You know what? I wasn't in it for the long haul. I was just in it until mainstream media picked it up. And, you know, when it went up 4, 5x, 4x, that was a good opportunity to get out. But some people wanted to stay in forever. Oh, you're a fool. You never should have gotten out. I was a fool when I got in. Now I'm a fool when I get out. Make up your mind. You know, it's funny because the masses are always going to be a step behind. It's sad that it's like that, but it is. And by doing this video, I am in no way trashing gold. Gold is great. Gold plays an important part of my portfolio. I think gold will do very well. It has done very well. But I think silver will just go crazy. Now, we're not even counting a scenario of an SHTF scenario. In an SHTF scenario, at first, gold and silver probably ain't going to do much for you. You know, as things settle out a little and people start growing gardens and all of a sudden there's chickens and all of a sudden people are producing stuff, which is a key in any society, really. You have to have people that are producing something. And once people start producing gardens, hunting and fishing and raising cows and cattle and chickens and this and that, they're going to need some sort of a means to barter and trade. It's not just going to be foods and ammo and all this stuff. It's going to be gold and silver. People aren't going to trust. If the dollar collapses, people won't trust the dollar again. It will be over. They're not going to trust government. And we've seen time and time again in history that the pendulum swings. And once it swings away from the dollar and not trusting the government, I mean, I hear it all the time. Oh, they're going to confiscate it. No one's going to turn it in. They didn't turn it in during the Great Depression, a lot of people. You think they're going to turn it in now? You know, it's kind of funny how people look at this stuff. When the masses flock into silver, they're all going to want silver. Coin shops, if they're still around, and they will be around, there'll be people, are going to be more than willing to give you an ounce of gold for 40 ounces of silver because they can sell that to 40 different people. More clientele has options to buy it. That's why in the past I've said if you've got something that's a specialty item, your clients are smaller. But if you have something that's generic and general, a lot of people are going to want it. Just like, I'll say, junk silver. Junk silver dimes. A lot of people like junk silver quarters, dimes. I've talked about this numerous times on the channel. When I first started, you know, yeah, I got them. Then I had one bad experience and I didn't like them. And then as I started talking to more people about it, I started liking them again. You know, people recognize them. More people want them because they recognize them. I'm not saying that gold is not recognizable, but how many people in the room have bought a piece of gold? When you buy a piece of gold, I can tell you, as experienced as I am, I'm still always a little scared. Why? I got to worry. I got to worry if the coin is real. I have a Sigma. Some people do ping tests. Some people do water displacement tests. A lot of different tests you can do. But there's always a worry. What happens if it's filled with something else? What happens if it's something the Sigma don't pick up? What happens if they come up with a new way to counterfeit them? You know, I always worry. Why do I worry? Because it's so much money. It's $2,500, $2,600. An ounce of silver, when I buy an ounce of silver, it's $30. You know what? Would I get stung? Would I hate it if I got a fake ounce of silver? Of course I would hate it if one made its way into my collection. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't like set me back like an ounce of gold would. You know, when that happens, people are going to flock to silver. I can't stress it enough. And coin shops are going to want to make the money as quick as they can. Why? Because when you have limited clientele that can afford an ounce of gold, I mean, it's going to be harder for them to sell it. I mean, during 2011, you think coin shops had a lot of silver sitting around, and they had high premiums. I heard stories of eagles, which blows my mind. An American silver eagle selling for as much as $80, even though spot price was only $50. Here's the thing, too. When percentages start going up, the dollar amounts are going to be even higher. It's going to really start climbing. And this doesn't have anything to do with the gold to silver ratio, but it's important to note. Because if you see 10% jump in a week on silver at $20, you're at 22. You see 10% jump at $30, you're up to 33. You see how there's more money to be made as it jumps, as the price goes up? Now, I know some people are going to say, you're not actually making money, you're just protecting your purchasing power. Okay. I mean, it's easy to make that argument, and I've heard arguments the other way. The truth of the matter is, I'm not just in it to protect my wealth. I'm in it to make a profit. I'm in it to make a profit. And the reason I think I'm going to make a profit off of silver is because when everything starts going crazy and they've manipulated the price of silver to sit at 25, 30 bucks, when it takes off, it's going to take off. They're going to lose control. At a certain point, they're not going to flush more money down the toilet to keep it manipulated down. They're going to say, you know what, we got a lot. We're holding the largest silver stockpile in the world. Let it go. Let it go up. As the price goes up, if we want, we can sell some. But our investment's skyrocketing in value. And you know what? So ain't the average silver stacker. This is going to put you and your family in a better position. I hear people say, oh, you're never really going to get rich from it. You know what? Maybe I won't be a millionaire. But you know what? If my silver coins go from $30 to $60, I'm not going to be complaining. If my coins go from 30 to 100, I'm not going to be complaining. I'll have made the right choice. But I am well aware that when silver skyrockets, there is a strong possibility of a huge pullback. And that's the pullback that you don't see in that chart that I showed you a little while ago. You know, when you look at that chart is from point A to point B. We'll look at it right now. Why didn't they make that chart from point A 1970 to 2011? Why? Because those numbers wouldn't look anything like that. And then if you sold in 2011 and put it into gold, or you just traded it into gold, because let's be honest, I'm not going to sell. I won't sell my silver. Would I trade 40 ounces of silver for an ounce of gold? Of course I would. Would I sell 40 ounces of silver for some money and then hope I can go buy an ounce of gold? I don't think so. Because at that point, people aren't really going to be wanting the dollar. If the price skyrockets, that's because things aren't going good. Price of gold going up, price of silver is going up. It's all already happening, but a lot of people don't see what's really happening yet. So with that being said, 23 minutes. I think this is a great video. Like I said, the channel that I was watching, I love the channel. I don't want this to be any kind of retaliation thing. I just felt like it was a little biased. You know, silver has a lot of room to go up. Just because gold is up right now does not make gold the better investment. In the comments below, please hit me up. Let me know what you think. Do you think gold's better or silver's better? So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.